I'm just a sinner trying to live a righteous life. It's a simple sentence, right? But it's packed with a lifetime of conflict. And that is the absolute heart of the story we're diving into today. A story about a man whose entire world and the very meaning of his life is about to get flipped completely upside down. Yeah, today we're talking about a shot caller's redemption. And let me tell you, this is a story about power, about family, and maybe most of all, about a desperate and very violent race against the clock. So, our story kicks off with a man named Cain. And you have to understand, inside the concrete walls of this prison, he's not just another inmate. No way. He's a king. He is the absolute ruler of his world. And when I say he's there for a while, I mean, he's got nothing but time. He's serving a sentence so long, it's basically forever. For a guy like Cain, tomorrow is just another word for today. He accepted his fate inside those walls a long, long time ago. But then, bam, everything changes. A doctor walks in and tells him his time is almost up. That one thing he had an infinite supply of, time, is suddenly the one thing he's about to run out of. And folks, this is the moment that kicks the whole story into high gear. So, to really get the impossible choice he's about to make, we first need to understand exactly who Cain is. He's the king of the yard, and he has absolute power in this concrete jungle. Get a load of this number. 203 years. I mean, the judge who said that might as well have just said eternity, you know? It's a number so vast, it just kind of breaks your brain. And that number, it explains everything about Cain's psychology, why he completely gave up on any life outside and just focused on mastering the world he was stuck in. And inside those walls, he wasn't just some guy. He was a shot caller. Now, if you don't know, that means he's the one in charge. He makes the rules. He enforces the brutal prison code. He holds life or death authority over everybody. In that whole ecosystem, Cain is the absolute apex predator. And listen to this. This is Cain in his own words, just laying down the law. It's not just a prison to him. It's his kingdom. And he makes it crystal clear who the one and only ruler is. But you know how it goes. Just when you think you have it all under control, Cain's carefully constructed world is about to get completely shattered. A ghost from his past literally walks through the prison gates, a living shadow that forces him to face the life he destroyed and the family he left behind. And that ghost? It's his son, Ricky. Now, their first meeting isn't some happy reunion, it is an explosion of pure resentment. Cain tries to impose his authority, the only way he knows how, but Ricky just throws it right back in his face. And when Cain tries to offer protection, Ricky cuts him to the bone, blaming him for his mother's death. This whole exchange shows you a wound so deep, you have to wonder if it could ever heal. So, just as Cain is being forced to grapple with the sins of his past, his future gets completely wiped out. His life sentence, well, it's about to be cut short in the most final way imaginable. 6 months. Can you believe it? After being told you have 203 years, a doctor says you've got about 6 months to live. Brain cancer. The irony is just, it's brutal. The man with nothing but time now has none. And this diagnosis, it just flips a switch in his head. It's this devastating moment of self-awareness. He doesn't see the disease as some random tragedy. He sees it as cosmic justice, a punishment that perfectly fits his crimes against his own family. And this is the moment his mission shifts. It's not about surviving his sentence anymore. It's about desperately trying to redeem it. And this brings us to the central question, doesn't it? Cain's a king losing his kingdom, a father who's lost his son's respect, and now a man who's about to lose his life. So what on earth does he do now? Well, this new reality, it ignites this final, desperate mission. Cain begins a race against time, but not to save his own life. It's to protect the only legacy he has left, his son. So his mission becomes brutally clear. First, he's got to shield Ricky from the violent reality of prison life. That means confronting his dangerous rival, J.D. Parker, who's already got a target on Ricky's back. He has to leverage every ounce of his power to stop an all-out war. But really, underneath it all, his true, desperate goal is to somehow earn even a shred of forgiveness from the son he knows he failed. And this one line, man, it just says it all. All the power, all the fear he cultivated for decades is now focused on this single, unwavering purpose. It's the protective instinct of a father finally kicking in, maybe for the very first time. But of course, it's never that simple, is it? Just when Cain thinks he's got a clear path, Just when he's ready to take out his enemy J.D. Parker to save Ricky, a visitor from his past shows up with a revelation that will turn his whole world upside down. Again. And this leads us to the final, gut-wrenching part of the story. Kane is about to face an impossible choice, a conflict of blood against blood. So that visitor? They delivered the ultimate twist. The man trying to kill his son is also his son. J.D. Parker, his #1 rival, the guy he was about to have killed, is the child he never even knew existed. This places Kane in a truly unimaginable position. His two sons, both products of his own violent legacy, are on a collision course destined to destroy each other. The torment must be absolute. Every move he makes to protect one son directly endangers the other. How does a father choose between two children who are sworn enemies? You can just feel the terrible logic of it all unfolding in his mind. First, he has to process this impossible truth. The man he hates is his own blood. Second, he understands that a deadly final confrontation between Ricky and JD is now inevitable. And third, he realizes the only way to break this cycle of violence, a cycle he started, is to intervene himself, directly, personally, and finally. This becomes his final prayer. In the end, Kane's goal is to absorb the consequences of his own life, to stop the poison he created from being passed down to the next generation. It is the ultimate act of a father taking responsibility. And that's what we're left with. Kane's story forces us to ask this really powerful question. He lived as a cancer to his family, and in his final moments, he tried to perform a radical surgery to cut that cancer out of their lives forever. But is it enough? Can one act of sacrifice truly wash away a lifetime of sin and rewrite a legacy? Well, that's for you to decide.